Happy people. What is happening? What is happening? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the big stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, on today's conversation, we're going to talk about DEI. We're also going to discuss the boycotts, the backlash that the Trump administration has received after he announced that he is removing DEI. I didn't have time to talk more about it on the last episode, so we're going to talk about it mostly on this episode. In addition to the conversation, we're going to discuss a music festival held in my hometown of Hampton Roads, Virginia, that has just been announced that it will be canceled. Not a lot of folks are really shocked. Some might be. I happen to have I had a conversation with a member of council in the city that the festival was held, and so we're going to talk more about that here on today's show. Before we do all that, as always, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time, my friends, out of your busy schedule to join me for another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We are continuing to grow each and every day. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that, but it's true, y'all. It's true. We are slowly but surely building up our audience. We on the digital circuit, as well as the streaming circuit, and even on the radio airwaves, man. We are growing our audience, and we want to continue to grow and grow and grow. And I want y'all to be a part of that journey alongside with myself and the team here as we continue to give you great content that matters, content that you find in not just entertaining but informative and just great conversation. So we want to keep giving it to you, and hopefully that you continue to stay with us and just share with friends, and we can continue to build the platform, build the movement. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you as always. I also would like to shout out all of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show. We have so many folks, but we want to thank some of our proud supporters, like our friends over at Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's right, Rugged is the new smooth. Is an all natural men's grooming line that offers 17 scented beard oils, beard balms, conditioning shampoos, everything you need to help enhance your facial hair care needs. So do me a favor, support. They are a minority owned business. They have been fortunate to be featured in S's magazine twice, one on digital and one on their print magazine. And so we want to keep that narrative going with them. So for more information, if you're interested in Rugged Evolution beard care products, look, go to their website at ruggedevo.com. Again, that website is www.ruggedevo.com. In addition to some of those supporters, we want to thank our friends over at Ingenious Gin. Oh yeah, give yourself a good little, good little beverage there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cook yourself up with a good beverage. Ingenious Gin, whether you are celebrating or regardless, look, it's a gin of thinkers, and it is a great spirit. You can have it neat, you can have it in gin and tonic. It is so smooth and it's just so delicious, and I highly recommend you all to try it. You have to be 21 or older in order to try this out. And do me a favor, my friends, please drink responsibly. So we just want to shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's see here. Let's get it going with our fun fact. I normally will go. I'm going off script here. I normally would do commercial, then we come back talking about fun fact, but I really want to share a lot of our content, some of our conversation here. So let me go ahead and actually let's talk about our fun fact before we get going. So, my friends, look, on today's fun fact, did you know that Coca-Cola originally contained small amounts of cocaine? Did you know that? Says here that uh It used to, yeah, that is very true. It contained a small amount of cocaine, but the amount was reduced over time until it was completely removed in 1929. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't even know Coca-Cola had been in existence for that long. So it says here that in 1886, Pemberton's original formula called for 5 ounces of uh, coca leaves per gallon of syrup. Now, in 1891, it says their Candler's formula contained a tenth of an amount of coca leaves as Pepperton's, Pepperton's. So in 1903, Coca-Cola stopped using fresh coca leaves in its formula. 1904, Coca-Cola began using spent leaves, which were the leftover leaves from the cocaine extraction process. And then finally in 1929, Coca-Cola stopped using any significant amount of cocaine in its formula. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you drinking a Coca-Cola, and it contained cocaine in there? You know how people like, I mean, I am a ginger ale lover. I'm not really a Coke lover. Now, my wife, she likes a Coke Zero, right? Or I think it's a cherry Coke. Is it cherry Coke? Cherry or vanilla Coke? One of those two. Those are like her go-tos. I couldn't imagine, because they're so delicious, people just, I'm just gonna go ham on them, and it has cocaine in it. I couldn't imagine. But yeah, that is our fun fact of the day. So we're gonna get it going. Let's go ahead, take it to a commercial break, y'all. Once again, you are tuned in to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, Arrington Gavin. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break. So stay right there. Don't change that dial.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. As I mentioned before, I am your host, your friend, Arrington Gavin. Do me a favor, be sure to follow me on all of our social medias. You see it scrolling there on the bottom of the screen if you happen to be watching. Look, follow us at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack. I truly appreciate that. Please do. Look, let's get it going with a breaking story that recently came across my feed. Something in the water. Something in the Water Music Festival 2025 has been canceled. Now, here's the difficult part. So the reason it has been canceled, let me go and read this more into context. Let me go ahead and pull up this image that I want to show you. There we go. Alrighty. So this is reported by 13 News. Now, WVEC is held in Norfolk, Virginia. It's an ABC affiliate. And it reads, the city will officially send festival organizers a termination notice and will begin to explore alternative programming for the weekend of April 26th and 27th. Now, for those who are late to the party. Something in the Water Music Festival was founded by award-winning music producer, entrepreneur Pharrell Williams. Pharrell Williams, who is a Hampton Roads native, born bred. He's originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia, which Virginia Beach is a premier city in the state of Virginia. I say they're premier. Not only are they the largest city population wise in the state of Virginia, but it's one of the major cities that's known for their beach, their boardwalk. Right, a lot of festivals has come there to perform. Um, so much great stuff is happening in the city, and all the money happens to be within the city of Virginia Beach. So Pharrell Williams, I would say in 2019, was it 2019? I'll say 2019. I believe that was the first Something in the Water Music Festival. Was announced. It was held. It was phenomenal. When I tell you, it was so major because there were celebs coming down here to interview Pharrell Williams. I remember Gayle King was interviewing Pharrell Williams and had like a sit down interview with him. I think while she was on CBS Morning News, CBS This Morning, just talking about the story. You know, the passion. It was a lot of attention being brought to the city of Virginia Beach. Right. So much revenue was brought in to that. Let me see if I can actually find my find the actual numbers, because recently I had a member of council that was on the show, newly elected councilman, Mr. Calvern Jackson Green, and we had a great conversation. And we end up talking about the Something in the Water Music Festival. But as I continue, excuse me, and as I clear my throat at the same time, Something in the Water was so major because it brought so much attention to the Hampton Roads area. Now, all my life I lived in Hampton Roads. Yes, we've have, you know, celebrities to come perform, and you know, for one night or two nights we've have comedians that come do shows at one of the local comedy clubs that we have out here. Like we've had notable figures, you know, come to Hampton Roads, right? We have notable figures that are from the area, but nothing like Something Water Music Festival. We first hear about this, we're like, wow, look at the lineup. Migos, Gwen Stefani, Dave Matthews Band, Usher, Snoop Dogg, Diddy, Busta Rhymes. The name was like, the names were just kept on building up, and it was magical. It really was. Now, the first year it occurred, it was initially supposed to be 3 days. It ended up being 2 days because the first day got rained out. The weather in Hampton Roads is very unpredictable, so we end up doing 2 solid days, and it was just, you had folks like let me see, who do we witness? Fabulous, Chris Brown, Usher, Busta Rhymes, Diddy, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z surprised everybody. That was unexpected. Tyler the Creator. Oh gosh. I think Blackstreet, Teddy Riley, Lil Duval came out. I think SWV might have come out. No, it wasn't SWV. It was just Coco. It was just Coco at the time. It wasn't a group, but it was Coco did come out because she lives in Hampton Roads. She lives in, I think, in Virginia Beach or Chesapeake. Damn, who else? It was a lineup like no other. Janae Aiko, SZA. It was a lineup like no other, and the list kept on just piling. Now, I'll be honest. First year, no one could top that one. No one could top that. As I mentioned, it was my first ever music festival experience. They started calling it the Black Coachella. That's how big it was. Now, let me talk numbers with you guys. So, in 2019, the first year that the festival was announced, it sold 35,000 tickets and generated approximately $24 million in revenue for Hampton Roads area. And then that was just the inaugural year, right? So obviously they saw how lucrative it was. A lot of the businesses on the boardwalk was like, I wish this was every day. Um, it was a again, it was a money generated festival. Now the year after that was pandemic, so boom, you skip that year in 2020. Issues had occurred between Pharrell and the city of Virginia Beach, mainly with council and just leadership, and just he wasn't feeling it. It was a bad time. He had just lost his cousin due to gun violence, which is still kind of back and forth with that case. Um, he then moved something to water to DC. It was still, he made money, but it didn't make any sense because it's like, okay, something in the water made sense because it was a music festival that was literally on the sand. It was on the beach and next to water. Um DC, you were next to a pond. Like it wasn't adding up. So it happened, it made money, it was a lot of people, but it wasn't as successful um as the time it was on the beach. Moving forward, Pharrell ended up finding a truce with the city with the help of, at the time, I think that was then councilman, Virginia Beach councilman, uh, Aaron Rouse, who then went on to serve as, and he's still serving as a state senator, Senator Rouse, and he's currently a candidate for lieutenant governor. Just fun fact. Any retired football player, pro football player. All right. Anyway, with the help of him, speaking with Pharrell, he helped bring it back to Virginia Beach. Perfect. 2023. 2023, economic wise, it garnered between 26 to 29 million for just the city alone. So this was a very, very lucrative and important festival to have. Uh so fast forwarding with all that, the city of Virginia Beach, Virginia Beach Council, excuse me, and the organizers of Something to Water have been navigating several challenges recently, which included missed deadlines. Something to Water organizers had failed to meet multiple deadlines. The one recently before this was announced was December 31st of 2024, deadline to announce the festival lineup and commence ticket sales as stipulated in their sponsorship agreement with the city. Now, what was awful was last year it was announced, I'm sorry, the year before last, it was announced that, okay, they were gonna change the month where they were having the festival, because it was normally in April. Now, around that time, there was a guarantee you were going to miss one day because of weather, or it was so bad they literally had to cancel majority. Like, when I took my wife, I think we got to enjoy maybe two, let me see, I think we got to enjoy 2 good solid days. We enjoyed 2 good solid days of the festival, and then the last day it was storming bad, and he had to cancel the whole thing, and he had to refund people some of their money. Likewise, what they did the first year when the first day got rained out, they refund people their money. Now, in this case, they said, okay, we're going to change the dates. Boom. So you have folks waiting in line. Now, it was supposed to be announced, I think, in October, but something was a bit odd because it's like, okay, they never announced the lineup. They never even announced the date, and we're like a month away from the initial the initial um announcement where we should be hearing things. And so when folks were waiting in line, locals were waiting in line for hours to get their tickets. Boom, they got their tickets. Guess what happened? Guess what they did? The day of, they said, okay, it got postponed. They said they're gonna move it on to next year, and they're gonna find a month to do it. But guess what? They refunded everyone their money. In my opinion, I thought that was a bit weird because you could have just saved those tickets, and that could have that could have just saved their position for the festival, for the upcoming festival, because all you did was postpone. You just moved it to another date. No, that wasn't going to happen. So we got this back and forth with the city officials, elected officials, and the organizers. It's like it ain't making sense. It's not looking too good. Continuous extensions. You had the Mayor Bobby Dyer of Virginia Beach. He was giving them, basically threatening them like, hey, look, if we don't have something in print by the end, we're moving on. Now, that was a while ago, and yet they gave them an extension. So it was almost like, okay, who's really in charge? Is it the organizers or is it the city? Because the organizers started to make the city look like fools, because they're like, okay, look, we know how lucrative this is. We know everybody wants this to happen. What's the deal? So now, finally, I get to fast forward to my guest, Cash Green, Councilman Jackson Green, um, who is newly elected. Recently, they had, I think, maybe a day or two after he was sworn in, they had a committee meeting, a council meeting, on whether they should extend their deadline. Out of majority of people on council, only 2 people voted no. Councilman Jackson Green was one of those no's. So I spoke with him on the show, and you can kind of backtrack and go on our past episodes where I spoke with the councilman, and he shared like, look, I want this to happen, but come on, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? So now I can read you this article in contents from the 13 News. Now it says here that Something in the Water organizers will officially receive a termination notice from the city of Virginia Beach. The city had announced. Now the city has decided earlier this month to allow Something in the Water one final chance to work toward releasing a lineup and announcing ticket sales, especially considering much of the team was being impacted by the wildfires in Los Angeles. However, and I'll pause right there. However, this was going on way before the wildfires even started. All right. All right. Oh, unpause it. However, Virginia Beach Deputy City Manager Amanda Jarrett said, work sessions that while the Something in the Water team had remained in contact, there had been no information regarding ticket sales on release of lineup forthcoming. Mayor Bobby Dyer said, "We have reached a decision point here. It's going to be my recommendation to the manager that we move forward with the city attorney to say they are in breach of the contract and impose a 5-day cure time." Now, recently, a city spokesperson confirmed to 13 News Now that a letter was officially sent to the festival team following the recent work session. The letter informed festival organizers that they have until the end of business Monday. So that was, weeks. This occurred weeks ago, or a few days ago, excuse me, to cure the breach. Now, the city of Virginia Beach provided this statement to 13 News Now recently, saying, while the city values the positive impact and visibility the Something in the Water Music Festival has had on Virginia Beach in the years past, regretfully, organizers did not meet the cure notice requirements in terms of next steps. The Something in the Water team will receive an official termination from the city. As a result, the city staff will begin alternatives plans for the weekend of April 26th to April 27th. They say they remain optimistic about future opportunities to work with the Something in the Water team. And I do hope so, because again, Pharrell is from the area. I'll backtrack. The first year when it was held in when he had the Something in the Water festival, guess what? He also debuted a music reality TV show on Netflix that was taped in his hometown in Virginia Beach. Like, I mean, it was destined. And so you're like, okay, boom, all this momentum that Pharrell is bringing to the area, why can't we keep it going? And this is something that it's just Hampton Roads. we wrestle with. We always wrestle when it comes to like big opportunities that can really garner and bring some stuff to the area. It's like, oh, we can't. It never stays, and it sucks. But just like this, it sucks. So I'm curious to see what festival will be coming. I mean, the worst part when it comes to music festivals in Hampton Roads, the majority is like country music. And look, I got nothing against country music, but when it's like ongoing, it gets a little old. We have a popular jazz festival, the Hampton Jazz Festival. We have um what else we have? We used to have something called Shag Fest. That was from a local radio personality. We got we had something called Beach It Fest. We got weird festivals. We got tons of festivals concert wise and music related. I feel like there's always, the Patriotic Fest is a country driven concert. Country driven country themed music festival. Beach It was country. So that's two. They did have an Odyssey, I forgot the name of it, but they had some festival where you had like Juicy J and like I think Wiz Khalifa had performed. I'm forgetting the name of that, but yeah, those were some of the festivals there. So fingers crossed that something in the water could return. It was memorable. It was a wonderful festival. I know my wife was looking forward to the upcoming one, but we will see y'all. We will continue to follow y'all up with this, and I don't know. We'll see what occur from there. But until then, as of right now, I repeat, as of right now, something in the water 2025 has been canceled. Uh, I will continue following you all up with any new news that gets added to this story. But yeah, as of right now, it is canceled. So, yeah. As I digress from that, my friends, look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legend.
What is happening, my friends? What is happening? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Next up, I want to talk about DEI. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'll say it again: diversity, equity, and inclusion. So recently, I let me backtrack. If y'all happen to be watching the inauguration, Donald Trump announced his executive orders of what his first thing is going to be once in the office. What's going to be his first thing that he's going to be going after? And one of those things was DEI. I'll repeat, it was DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so there has been an outpouring of companies, people who has responded to the president and companies that are already ending their DEI program. So let me just explain to you why this is an issue to end DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion program. So first things first, loss of diverse perspectives, right? Eliminating the program reduces opportunities to include diverse voices in decision-making process. This can lead to less innovation and problem solving as diverse teams often outperform homogeneous ones by offering varied perspectives and creative solutions. Now that's extremely important because I'll be honest, I was in a group of friends and we were just all uh uh there was a time, there was a moment where one of them did not know what Juneteenth was. June 19th, Juneteenth was what we call it. They were like, what is, why is that a government holiday? Why is that a federal holiday? What is on that day? That day was officially the date. That was the official date where we as a black people were officially freed from slavery. That was literally that was the date where where it was a it was an end to slavery. Let me and so and so it was the end, yeah, June 19th to commemorate the ending of slavery in the United States. So that happened in June 19th of 1865. So that's why that is a, you know, federal holiday. Now the thing is, one person in the group like, what is that? What's that? And really, y'all, it's about one thing. It comes to educating, right? That's what occurs in the diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI programs. Also, it's an opportunity because there's a lot of folks who don't receive the same opportunities when it comes to, you know, jobs or anything line of work because of their skin complexion, and that's very true. That's very true. And I hate it that the president's like, well, it's about time that people just get hired off merit and not skin color. Like, dude, here's what we're trying to explain to you. There are companies that chooses because of skin complexion bump the merit. They've always had the merit and they're overqualified, yet they're still at the bottom of the totem pole. That's why even when the NFL, they have their like the Rooney rule. That's providing an opportunity for a player of color, an African American or Black American, however you like to call it, gives them the opportunity to to say, hey, look, I have what it takes as any other. Now, sometimes it could be a little BS around, at least in, you know, with the Rooney rule, because they're like, hey, look, at least I know I get to get interviewed by two people because it's the rule. But at the end of the day, I'm like, but look at the opportunity that it can help. Like, it's all about equal opportunity. We're not saying equal outcome. I'm talking about equal opportunity. People keep on thinking, oh, well, they're just giving some handouts out there. No, that's society that we live in. When it comes to getting your home appraised for something, there was, and there's stories, you can look it up. Minority families knowing damn well their home was appraised, will be appraised this much because they saw the complexion of their skin. Guess what? It was appraised for low, so they wouldn't receive any money. It's ridiculous. A second issue with ending the DEI programs, worsening inequities. All right. The DEI initiatives are designed to address systematic inequities and create opportunities, keyword opportunities, for underrepresented groups. Ending these programs can perpetrate uh yeah, existing disparities and hinder progress toward equitable representation. All right. I'll read you another one. Damage to organizational reputation, negative impact on employee morale, difficulty attracting and retaining talent, increasing in the workplace increased workplace discrimination, uh stifled innovation and growth, missed opportunities to market expansion, reinforcement of systematic bias. I mean, the list goes on and on. I literally have a list jotted down right here. Economic and social backlash, missed leadership development, legal and regulatory risks. Oh man, the list goes on and on. Um, Undermining social responsibility goals, increased conflict and division. I mean, this is what ending DEI is. And so there's been companies like McDonald's ending their program. Target has ended their program. There's other companies that is like, okay, look, we're gonna put an end to this diversity, equity, inclusion program, and we're like, we're done. We're good. And that's the issue, because they're like, okay, once again, Nelly, I'm going back to Nelly. Where does the white supremacy prove me that Trump is a white supremacist? Look, I'm just gonna say it's kind of a coincidence the fact that he doesn't want any diversity when it comes to the workplace. We're not saying stop hiring or who to hire, but we're just saying provide an opportunity. Provide, if you have a staff of 50 and everybody's white, everybody's white. I'm sorry, that's a problem. And they probably are more than qualified, but the reality of society is a diverse melting pot. If you want to build up opportunities and say, okay, look, we got to get with the times, have people of color in different cultures, not just black, Hispanic, Asian American, like literally diversify it. That's all we're saying. So let me actually play you this clip of I believe who is this? This is a clip of Reverend Al Sharpton, along with hundreds of uh, supporters. I won't say protesters, supporters walking in a Costco, because Costco said, "Well, we're not going to end our diversity, equity, inclusion program. We're not going to do that." Because, and I'll explain why. But let me play this soundbite for you first, and then we'll talk on the other end. Hundreds of people, y'all. Hundreds of people. They keep on coming. They keep on coming. This is in Harlem, New York, at a Costco to show the company's strong commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Shopping for justice.
And so I want to tell you why this is important. So I worked at Costco. That was my first job. That was a part-time job I did when I graduated from college. Costco, majority of their workers, well, a lot of their staffers are folks that might have not either completed college and went straight from high school, and that's their route. They provide a lot of opportunities for people in lower income areas, whether it's white, Hispanic, black, and look, the statistics will show like lower income communities does have a larger African American presence. All right, guess who provides opportunities for them? Costco. And not just that, they provide them with opportunities to get educated when it comes to excuse me. They had opportunities where I could work in the pharmacy, in the eye care center, in the concessions, in the meat department. They had you working in every single department. Cashier assistant, management. If you want to work your way up, you could work. Man, you leave out there, man. with so much money. I mean, part-time I was making money. If you were full-time and making a ton of money, like there were so many great benefits, and they help get people on their feet, whether they wanted to stay there or they wanted to leave or if they wanted to retire. So I commend Costco for sticking to their morals, sticking to what was right rather than listening, because Trump did not say for those companies to stop. He just said he's putting it in. It's not going to be a requirement. So that just shows you McDonald's true colors. That shows you Target's true colors. I want to play you this real quick. This is a pastor. Let me see. I don't know who this gentleman's name is. The social media handle is EBC in your city, and Craig Oliver Sr. So I believe the pastor's name is Oliver Sr. That's my assumption. So let me just play you this piece that he shared on YouTube. Let me see if I can get the sound going for you. And he brings a question: is DEI found in the Bible? All right, boom. Let me play this, and here we go.
We got to stop making faith an anti-intellectual experience. Don't come to church and leave your brain at the door. Don't read the Bible and not bring your intellect to the Bible. Because when you read the Bible, you would come to discover that the Bible that you hold physically or even digitally is a Bible that has the biblical imperative of DEI. In other words, when you look at the broader scheme of Scripture, you will see that throughout Scripture, from Genesis to Revelation, God was concerned about, here it is, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So much so that the book opens up in Genesis 1. After God created the world, he created man. And here it is, after his own likeness and kindness. And he created us, here it is, with diversity. When you come to Pentecost, the birth of the church, on the day of Pentecost in Acts chapter number 2, there were people from all different nations. And they spoke in tongues in their native language, and they all understood. When you come to the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, it's interesting that John the Revelator sightsees in heaven, as one preacher would say. And even as he gives us a tour of heaven, it's interesting that heaven is made up of a diverse multitude of people from all language, all tongues, all tribes. And the Bible makes mention that is a place, here it is, that is inclusive of all people. Here's my argument, church, whether you believe it or not, that when you read the Bible, from a biblical kingdom perspective, it produces or introduces, better yet, this whole concept of DEI, diversity, this whole aspect, equality and equity, inclusion. Matter of fact, let me push it even the more. When you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Gospels, you cannot help but see that Jesus embraced this whole concept of DEI. Look at Jesus in Scripture. Look at his prophetic ministry in Scripture. When you look at Jesus, Jesus, of course, was one who was intentional in his approach of addressing people from all different walks of life, so much so that we see it demonstrated in how he elevated the excluded and how he ministered to the marginalized, how he blessed the broken and the bruised, how he touched the untouchable, how he dignified the dejected and even the disregarded, and how he ministered in such a way that he challenged the systemic barriers of his day. He said, don't tell me though I'm a Jew, I can't talk to a woman, and don't tell me that though I'm a Jew, I can't speak to a Samaritan. A matter of fact, when you look at Jesus, he broke against the systemic barriers of his day and introduced a kingdom of inclusivity.
Let me tell you something. That pastor, I got to bring him on the show. I have got to bring him on the show because he's speaking facts. See, this quote unquote Republican Party, oh, they're the party of faith. They're the party of this. Let me tell you something. I hate the fact that they consider them like they're if you are a Christian, oh, that means you have to be a Republican. No, that's not true. Okay. But all it is a part of their way to promote themselves. That's a part of that's a talking point for the Republican Party. Why do you think? Why do I say that? Because every time you see a Republican running for office, they're speaking on how holy thou and that this and that. Give me a break. When it comes to the disrespect that I'm sorry, I'm the party as a whole. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying the party as a whole has against minorities and even against DEI. I'm like, wait. You heard the bishop, the pastor just explain how you can find DEI and diversity, equity, inclusion in the Bible, and he spoke facts now. Why is it that you're so anti that? Why do you want to why do you always want to continue to bring and cause division? Now, recently, public figure Tabitha Brown, she received some backlash um because I mentioned that uh one of those boycotts is is one of the stores was Target, right? Target's ending their DEI initiative. Uh Tabitha Brown is a famous she's an actress, mogul, influencer. She's facing backlash because she is telling folks, and I'll read it in context. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and read this reported by Black Information Network. Tabitha Brown under fire for criticizing Target boycott amid of DEI rollback. All right. So it says here that Target joined a list of major companies, including Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, that are rolling back their DEI policy. Now, the move sparked a boycott against the major retailers led by wearesomebody.org. Now, uh, let me see. This message says starting February 1st, we are somebody is calling the mass boycott on Target stores. This okay, so boom. On the Target stores, boycott Target only by minority owned. All right, bet. So Tabitha Brown, who had dropped multiple collections of home goods, hair care, cookware, food, and more with Target and other major retailers, took to Instagram to urge the public to reconsider boycotting the company due to the effect the move could have on her and other minority-owned businesses. Now, look, she brings up an interesting point. She's like, okay, if you boycott, now Target they still have black owned products and black owned created products in the store. So you boycotting them, that's not going to help us make money, right? That's hurting. So why don't y'all just, you can go there only, just still buy our products because yeah, you still got to keep us uplifted. Now, here's where the public why she's getting backlash. Now, I don't know her funds. I know she's doing good. She doing better than me. But she is a successful woman now. I don't know how with her price of her products or if they're booming and all this other stuff. I just know she's doing great. But here's the issue with Tabitha Brown has to put in the context. These items, these other black owned businesses, don't they have their own websites? Can't people, if they're true fans of those black owned businesses, can't they just go directly to the source rather than going through a third party with the middleman with Target? Because here's the thing. If I buy something from you, you get your cut, Target still makes their money. All right. Now I get it what she's saying as far as if you boycott us and we don't make any money, then it'll be even quicker to take us off the shelves. Well, guess what? It's time for people to put in money, the black dollar into black owned businesses. Now, look, having your stuff on Target is beautiful when it comes to promotion. And yes, you can have someone that is just a diehard Target shopper to say, and look, this is not just for black people. White people can say, okay, I'm gonna buy this black owned product. Let me if I'm gonna keep on shopping it from Target because I can go there and now, oh, it's gone. I might lean to something else that's close enough to it. But here's my argument with that. If you truly love this product, guess what? You're gonna find where you can get it. Me personally, I would love for folks to just go strictly to my website with my business, but I'm honored to have it in other stores, right? I have it in other retailers. Why? Because I worked hard. I get it. I get it. We've all worked hard to get it in those avenues. We worked extremely hard. But at the end of the day, I know for sure that I get majority if someone buys from me from my site rather than from another party's site because they get their percentage. So in reality, y'all, this is the wake up call for black owned for black people. Pour your money into black owned businesses. Why? Because guess what? Other cultures do it. Other cultures do it, and they've done it for years. For some odd reason, we still lack on supporting black owned businesses. We just lack. We don't educate ourselves on, like, okay, where can we go with? Look, WeBuyBlack.com. That's one e-commerce site that I guarantee you will find all black owned businesses, from black owned laundry detergent, from uh uh uh, uh clothing wear, jewelry, you name it, is a major site. There's so many others. Let me read you exactly what she said. After disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one this is affected by this. She put in a video. She said, it's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned business, and black-owned business. She continued, it's for so many of us who have worked so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen and a proof of retail, because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for black owned businesses to hit shelves. She's not lying. It's extremely hard to hit shelves on major retail. I'm one of them, which is why it's such a big deal when we do and finally land inside of a retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported. Look, my friend, you're not feeling unsupported. You're not feeling unsupported. Folks are having they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because the building that you're paying rent in is where people are protesting. They're not protesting against you personally. Look, they're gonna find ways to get your product. That's just an added revenue that is gonna be that you might see less numbers in, but people are still gonna support you and still pour a lot of money into you. You might not make 100,000. You might make 99,000, or you might make 99,000. You might not make $1 million, but you're gonna make 999,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to truly affect your bottom. You know, your I don't know, your not status, but it's not going to affect your all around revenue. So she added on to say, so many of us would be affected. Our sales would drop, and our business would be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight. Where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then where are you going to put it? You gotta have a place to store it, and that's money. Then you gotta have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. Here's my thing. She's telling the truth in regards to someone like me, but for somebody with a name like her, it's a much faster process. Because here's the thing. Tabitha Brown has a following. Not only was Target a great partnership for her because it's great to promote that your stuff is on Target. But guess what? That's great for Target because they're like, not only are we helping a minority-owned business, we're helping a celebrity. She's a celebrity at the end of the day. She might not like it, but she's a celebrity at the end of the day. Now, for me, they'll be quick to take me. Who am I? No one know me. Y'all don't, only y'all, the listeners, the viewers out there, y'all know me. But everybody else in the outside world, they don't know who Arington is. They don't know who Arington Gavin is. They need to, but they don't. So for Tabitha to play, I hear you, and I'm not trying to bash you. I'm just saying you have to stop. You have to not play the victim on this and just really, really, really realize why folks are not too not too thrilled of what you had to say. Like, for this one person said on social media, sorry to Mrs. Tabitha Brown, but she needs to redirect her energy and talk to Target execs about letting her out of that Target exclusive contract instead of talking to black folks about rightfully taking our black dollars literally anywhere else. Another person said, I don't like what Tabitha Brown said because she's insinuating that the fate of her brand and other black brand is in the hands of boycotting black consumers instead of placing blame on the actual companies rolling back DEI initiatives that will likely drop her. Once again, she is not criticizing them. She has to realize she has the power. She has the power. As a celebrity, instead of attacking or going after the people who really helped bring you up to a certain status level, she needs to say, well, look, Target, my revenue has done this and that and this and that and the other. And it was not only a great opportunity for me, but this was a hell of an opportunity for you to have my products in your store. Now, if you don't work with something, then I will take my brand. I would continue to contact all of my deep connections, and we're out of here. And hell, she can start her own store. She can literally start her own store. There's tons of black entrepreneurs that she can work alongside with. So again, I'm sorry, Tabitha, but what you're implying is BS. It is. It's just it's not working. It's not working. I'm not going to read any more comments because there's a lot of people against her. But like I said, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents. I think she should reconsider and take back her statements of what she had said on social media. But we will see. We will see. It's going to continue to be a protest. Amanda Seals, comedian, actress, she announced that she will be leaving Meta, so she's leaving Instagram and Facebook. Obviously, she's already boycotted the stores that I've mentioned. So many others are doing so. So it's going to be a continuation of, all right, what are we going to see next with all this, people taking back their DEI programs? We will see. We will follow you up with more here on the Arington Gavin Show. Oh man, my time is limited, so it's about that time, my friends. Be sure to tune into the Arington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays. Available on all digital and streaming platforms. The streaming platforms of YouTube, Rumble. All right. All you gotta do is type in the Arington Gavin Show, as well as wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, and also on our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of the Metro Atlanta area. We drop new episodes Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on their station, as well as on their website at WDJYFM.com. Peace and blessings, my friends. I will see you next time.